Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure for me to present on behalf of our international team the results of the comparative study on the mobile literacy skills, perceptions and skills of undergraduate students in the humanities and social sciences. The study was conducted by the University of Library Studies and Information Technologies in Sofia, Bulgaria, and Anadolu University. This is our Turkish partner. The toolkit which conducted the study includes a direct individual anonymous survey and online questionnaire with 15 closed, 8 semi-open, and 8 open questions. For the open questions, a typology of the answers was developed, and the percentages were calculated according to the number of answers. We turned attention to how students from both universities understand the concepts of information literacy and mobile literacy, general and specific characteristics. The students' understanding of the importance and role of information literacy in life is predominantly associated with profound knowledge about effective use of information, including the ability to deliver it, 33.6% of the respondents. In second place, with 32.7% of responses, ranks the concept that it's related to the skills of selecting the information flow and the ability to extract the accurate information. The general statement that information literacy means ability to work with technology is indicated by 11.3% of the students. For 6.9% of the respondents, the term is related to the creation of new knowledge. It is important for the study to determine how students of humanities at both universities distinguish the mobile from information literacy. For little more than a third of respondents, 37.4%, the mobile literacy is a combination of various methods of access to information. 26.4% of the students consider that the two terms differ and the mobile literacy is the narrower concept or a subset of the information literacy. In the third place, with 21.5% of responses, ranks the statement that mobile literacy is the ability to work not just with technology, but with its newest forms. One of the working hypotheses of the comparative study between Anadolu University in Turkey and ULSIT in Bulgaria is that, to a small extent, the mobile devices are used for the purposes of training and self-education. The first chart presents the results related to the frequency of use of mobile devices for the different purposes from the students of both universities. While the majority of the respondents use their devices very often for social networks, for chatting, browsing, calls, listening to music and taking photos, a smaller number of them use with such frequency their smartphones and tablets for reading, access to databases, and self-education. The second chart reveals the objectives and the frequency of use of mobile devices in a learning context. The most of the respondents use very often their smartphones, or tablets for memorizing key concepts and for group work and development. Sometimes the devices are used by students for annotating and organizing notes, and rarely for handwriting and drawing. A set of 4 questions in the questionnaire is related to libraries in the students' everyday life, as the skills to use them and to work with their resources are part of the totality of the concepts information literacy and mobile literacy. The intensity of visits and use, the ways to create skills to work with the resources of the university library, the ways to form a reference and bibliographic culture, the most frequently used services are considered here in this set of 4 questions. Regarding the intensity of use of library services, majority of students, 45%, share that this happens 2-3 times a semester. Almost as 37% of the respondents are those who attend libraries several times a month. Adamant that they do not have a need to use services offered by these cultural institutions are 19% of the participating students. Given that the current generation spends an average of 3 hours in the virtual space from their mobile device, a question is addressed to the respondents related to the virtual intensity of attendance to libraries. Unfortunately, the results are not significantly different. It can be seen from the chart. Regarding the forms through which the students most often develop skills to work with the resources of the university library, about 2/3, 66.7%, say that this happens in traditional way through library instructions, while 25.6% of the respondents develop these specific skills using the library website. With regard to the most popular and used library services, on first place, the students indicate searching in the catalog, 133 of the respondents. 111 order and book library documents, and 84 of the respondents take the opportunity to use the virtual reference provided by the library. The following charts present the criteria for evaluating information applied by students. The dominance of the search engine Google in the process of information retrieval, including for research purposes, indisputed. However, in the training process, this is not always enough. One of the hypotheses of the study that the most preferred tool for information retrieval by the students is Google was categorically confirmed by the answers of the respondents, 250 of the participants. In the survey, declared to use it, supportingly, given the negative image that libraries have in the eyes of young people. In second place, 91 of the participating students checking the catalog of the library, university or public one, while searching for information on a particular problem. Only 52 of the respondents take the opportunity to search using a specialized search engines, as almost the same number, 47, search in the specialized databases. These results raise the question of criteria applied by students for evaluating the information on the internet. The second chart shows that predominates the number of students, 93, who rely on the authenticity of information, explaining that it depends on the sources and the websites used. The rating of the information is a leading factor for 33 of the respondents. However, here the question remains open: who put the assessment and how we can count on it? The comprehensiveness of the information is a measure for 19 of the participating students. As in most of the cases, it is related to the volume and the clarity of the found material. One of the main goals of the comparative study between Anadolu University in Turkey and ULSIT in Bulgaria was to find out how similar are undergraduate students' habits and attitudes in learning in time dominated by mobile technologies. Whether and how these habits influence their behavior as learning. The survey proved the working hypothesis that students who do not encounter any problems while using social media through mobile devices have problems while reaching out for information and learning. Now it is imperative to think how to find a suitable solution to this problem. Thank you for your attention. I will be glad if you have any questions to try to give answers to them.
Well, thank you. That was very interesting and with some evidence, things that we talk about, and we have some evidence now.